I would hit the NBA and make me a fortune.
For a special edition of the Sexiest Show Alive, we have a great show planned for you today. We have Marvin, Swag, we have Victor, we have Chris, we have Pete. As you know, the Jordans come in many different colorways, but the hottest colors are the Space Jams, the Concords, and you can't forget the Cool Grays. Now, the Jordan Concords are releasing again on December 23rd. Now, we're going to take this to the panel. As you know, they're going to sell, but what factors specifically contribute to someone buying the Jordan 11s?
Be the consumer value framework, which has the internal, external, situational influences, as well as the relationship quality, the value. So any number one of those would affect someone's purchase of the shoe. So does anyone have any internal influences that might affect your personal purchase?
Yeah, I actually got an internal influence when it comes down to the Jordan 11s. When I was young, like I always wanted the Jordan 11s because everybody had them. I used to like them because they was patent leather, and my family, they couldn't afford it. So I used to ask my dad every day, like, can I get the Jordan 11s? Can I get the Jordan 11s? He was like, no, I can't. Then one day, I just bugged him like all day. He was like, here, he finally gave me the money. And then after I actually got the shoe, he died. So it really means something to me. I actually got the shoe with me today.
Look at that box. Wow. Sexy.
So these right here, these are the Concords.
Yeah, okay.
Can we hold them?
No, he ain't touching my shoe, brother.
I think those are the ones that he was wearing when he got defined in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, those is hot right there.
That's pretty cool. How much did they run for?
Actually, these was like $175, but when I bought these, I had to buy both of them together, so it came up to like $350. But now the value is over $1,000.
Yeah, Marvin, similar to what you were talking about the story, there's external influence as well. They're kind of similar to what the story that you just explained. Whereas groups or people influence you throughout your life, so later on that influence you to purchase the Jordan 11s or any other product. Because if your father kept mentioning Jordans were the best brand from Nike, this and that, then later on in life, then you tend to go with whatever was instilled in your mind or brain, so to speak.
Okay.
So it's pretty similar to that story you just mentioned.
So it would be an internal influence and an external influence, right?
Pretty internal influence would be the story. It's very similar to what you just stated. The external influence will also mean your dad, because it's a group or a person that influences you over the time to buy a certain product.
So you think it will be more of an internal influence than the external? Because I know for a fact, like, because of the shoe, I mean, because of him is the reason why I have to get these shoes. Like, when they come out on 23rd, I don't care what I have to do. If it's 12 o'clock a.m., if I got to camp out, I'm getting the shoe, regardless.
Okay, so I understand the influence that your dad had on you. That's very important. I can understand the correlation between that. So I just want to know exactly what type of value would that represent more? Like, would that be more hedonic or utilitarian?
I would think like more hedonic, because like if I do wear the shoe, even though I don't think I would wear those, but Jordans period, I like to wear them for fashion, basically.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't like use them to play basketball in or whatever. It wouldn't be a necessity, or however you would say it.
Right. Okay. I can understand that. And would you think more utilitarian would be for people who collect the shoes to like sell them?
See, to a certain extent, yes.
Okay.
See, I don't really sell my shoes, but like those, I would sell them, but I can't. Just for the value or whatever it is.
More sentimental?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Okay.
So where do you guys think the Jordan shoe, the XI specifically, fit into Maslow's hierarchy of need?
I think because of the shoe, a lot of the young kids these days, or whomever buys the Jordan 11s, they it's very popular right now these days. So if some people might think, oh, well, I want to, if they buy it, they'll belong to the whatever group or society that is buying the Jordan 11s. So they want to fit in, and that's making them feel belongingness and feel love, so to speak, if you want to put it into the Maslow's theory.
So you're saying it's like a status symbol.
It's like a status symbol. They want to belong to a group. So if they're hanging around with a group and the group buys the shoe, everybody in the group has that shoe, then they want to fit in, so they buy the shoe.
So basically, they some followers.
To sum it up, yeah, you can say that. They're following.
Yeah.
They're following.
Yeah,
They're following.
that's very important to mention, because I know when I was in high school, you had to have some J's on, and a lot of people that hung out like near the basketball courts or whatever, they'd be wearing J's if you wanted to like hang out with them, or if they just knew a lot about sports. So it's kind of like to fit into that group.
Yeah.
If you had on J's, specifically if you had like the 11s, you know, it'd be like, oh, okay, yo, those are the Space Jams or whatever. So it could be definitely a part of belongingness, because you fit into that certain group or whatever.
So that certain group that you're talking about, that would be like the athletic group that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Like in my school back in my days, it would be like popular. If you had the J's on, you was popular. You was the man.
I buy it for my own personal enjoyment, you know. Myself, how I see myself looking, you know, I do it for my own personal appearance,
I feel
which
same
I
way.
think will fit into the view of self-actualization, you know.
So you don't think other people's opinions have to do with you buying the shoe? So if he has them on, they looking good, and everybody thinks that he tight because he got them on, they don't have to do like Gucci, for example.
Well, I mean, Gucci, I mean, we're talking about the J's, understand? But
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, for example.
Yeah. I would say more or less, no. If they look nice, they look nice, regardless. You know, he might like the shoe and feel he look good, and to me, I might think he look terrible, but that's just my own personal opinion, you know? So I roll with how I see myself. I look in the mirror and I see myself in certain things, certain not. Jordans, you know, Jordans are fashionable regardless. So that's just how I feel about it.
That's cool.
Okay.
You are a liar, just to let you know that. But we're going to go into the next subject.
Okay, so just to piggyback off of what Jared said earlier, I understand what he was talking about, but I personally also feel that it creates like a self-worth as far as like when you purchase the shoe, because maybe you buy them because maybe you want to talk to a certain girl, you know? The environment we live in kind of portrays that. So maybe you wear the shoe, a lot of people see you like, oh, okay, those are tight. You feel more confident in yourself when you're wearing something that you really like and that you know other people around you appreciate as well. So I understand what everybody else is saying. That's my personal view. I know we all got our own personal views. That's just my 2 cents in on it. But I think everybody's example is very important because it all relates to the topic. So another thing I also want to address is that one of the major complaints when the shoe first came out is that the clear sole would turn yellow after a while. So I just wanted to know from the panel if anybody would have like any examples or anything that they want to mention about the clear sole.
Basically, this is the sole that he was talking about. This is the yellow sole right here. And how it'll turn yellow like later on in life if you keep on wearing them. Nike now, on the 23rd, they're making the Jordans with a blue sole. It'll be more like a bluish color like this, as you can see. It's a little bit more clear than this one. Kind of see the difference.
Okay, so with that bluish sole you said?
Yes, it's
so
like a bluish clear.
It prevents it from changing colors, period? Or
It probably still will change the color, but it won't change the color as fast as this would.
okay.
They also have like solutions. It's like this thing called Sea Glow or whatever. And you put it on your shoe, and it'll take like the dirt and all that stuff off. So it'll be like brand new, crispy clear.
Oh.
The shoe will be a just noticeable difference, or
Not!
Not necessarily, because the sole of the shoe, people really can't even tell. You look at these shoes right here, you compare them with the two different soles, it really doesn't make a big difference. Like people, I mean, if you wear them down the street, nobody's gonna stop you and say, well, oh, you got the clear or the yellow sole. You know, it's not gonna make a difference, you know?
That's true.
A just noticeable difference would be more like you compare it against a competitor shoe, like a price.
Okay.
You know, some these Jordans run for anywhere between what, 150 and up.
Yeah.
You see the D Rose, his shoe, I don't know, Adidas Zero, Adidas Light, whatever they are. That's how unimportant they are, it seems like. Because I don't remember what shoe they are. But when you compare them with this, they don't compare it to Jordans. You can maybe play basketball in them on the court, but as far as style, they don't have this style, personally.
So what's different
And
in
that's-
this style between every other shoe?
Between this Jordan shoe specifically,
Yeah. And any other shoe out there?
you know, since you asked, Marvin, I think you should enlighten us.
I think
Because I'm not.
going into
What do you
what
think,
Jared
man?
said,
What?
I think it's the value of it. Bottom line to everything we're talking about, it's value. Nike wants to create a shoe that creates value for the customers. And the best thing that Nike has going for it against its competitors is the comfortability of it and the design, as Jared mentioned. The design is second to none and to its competitors, so like Adidas, Reebok. I don't know if Reebok even exists anymore, don't they? I think somebody bought them off.
I just know about Jordans, man.
And that's what I think. Value is the most important thing, and that's the value the Nike Jordan 11s offers. And that's why I think it's the top seller of Jordan shoes or Nike shoes, period, out there.
That's important because you also got to mention the actual quality. I was just concerned because if people think that the bottom is still going to turn yellow, that they may not want to purchase it.
That's true.
Right. That's the only point I was making, that they were saying that it might turn yellow, but if they're going to be coming out with the sole and it's actually a different color and it won't change yellow, I think that they kind of made the product better for the re-release. So
Right.
yeah.
Makes sense. Good point, Chris.
So we do here SSA.
Woo! Gotcha.
So as far as like different cultures, what would you consider to be some cultures that would be highly influenced by the Jordans? Like as far as like who would be mostly wearing them, you know?
I think the hip hop
Fashionistas.
Fashionistas?
Yeah, those are really
That's true.
involved in fashion.
Because I was thinking that as well. I was also thinking like how the hip hop culture is heavily influenced into the Jordans. Like you see a lot of the celebrities wearing them.
Right.
A lot of the rappers be making songs involving them.
That's another thing. You just hit right on the money. That's another thing why consumers buy Nike, specifically the Jordan 11s. It's because it's not only a basketball shoe, but you can also, if you look at it, you can also wear it as casual wear. A lot of people out there wearing it out to go to get-togethers, even clubbing, and Marvin knows about that.
Man, check this out. Believe it or not, I see people wear these to prom, even weddings, just because of the patent leather part.
Wow.
You know how you got the patent leather like shoes, the Tic Tac shoes and all that crap?
Yeah.
People wear these in their weddings and prom.
You know what, Marvin? I wouldn't doubt that because I actually lost my virginity in some J.
Wow.
As far as word of mouth goes, because I think that that's how that ties into it, how would you think that the younger generation influence on purchasing the Jordan shoe ties into that, specifically word of mouth?
Well, I think when kids go to school and they see their peers wearing the Jordan shoe, it has a lot of influence. And what's influential here in the United States is also influential worldwide.
Right.
As there's a world teen culture, not just teen culture in the United States.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of that is influenced by Western television and what people see, what America puts out, media and athletes. So, a lot of that has influence over teens worldwide.
Jordan is big on word of mouth though. Cause like ain't nobody even know when Jordans come out. Like he doesn't have no advertisement or anything like that.
Right.
Like you don't never see a billboard say, "Oh, these Jordans come out." Everything goes by word of mouth.
It would be a public luxury. It's not a necessity because, of course, you don't need it like it's some jeans, but it would be more of a luxury because when people see you with it, it can set like a fashion statement for yourself and, you know, make you feel good about yourself. It's not necessarily something you need, but it's definitely attainable for all, so it's definitely a luxury.
And it's not cheap.
Oh, I didn't even know I was on camera. But we got a little treat for y'all. We got a special interview from a product enthusiast by the name of Max at the Lakewood Mall. And he has a lot of information on Jordans and his personal feelings about the brand and specifically some other shoes. So check that out. Hope you guys like it.
We here with Max. We're about to interview him about the Jordan 11s. The first question is, how popular are the Jordan 11s?
We've been talking about the Jordan 11s since last year when the Cool Grays came out. So you can put a year on that tag price. Some of us knew about them when the Space Jams came out 2 years ago. But it is the hottest shoe of the year. in the season.
Are you a Jordan product enthusiast yourself?
I'm a Jordan enthusiast. I'm one of those guys that whenever somebody says Kobe's better than Jay, or somebody says, you know, LeBron's better than Jay, I'm that guy that says fuck you. Without Jay, it wouldn't exist. You know, Jay is a legacy. Jay is more than a man. He's like Batman. He's an idea. You know, the reason I wear J's is not because everybody wears J's. I wear J's because of what Jay did in it.
Join us again on for the Sexiest Show Live. We'll see you later.
Hello, it's the Martian, Space Jam Jardins. Hello, it's the Martian, Space Jam Jardins. Hello, it's the Martian, Space Jam Jardins.